Recording. We'll be reviewing the 4 R's today to unlock your human design. So this is a framework. In fact, in this group, I think Angela knows the framework of the 4 R's, but I think she's the only one that knows from a course that I did called Abundance Unleashed. And it's a framework that you can really apply to every area of your life, personally, business wise. And when you're wanting to 10x, you will be going through these 4 R's, whether you realize it or not. So now that you'll have this framework, you're going to be able to create more transformation in a rapid pace. And we're going to layer that with some human design. So you're in for a treat today. So let me go grab my animal deck. We'll call in an animal. All right. All right, so here we go. We're going to start with an animal, see what comes in. And when I work with women privately, we actually work with a particular animal as it relates to prosperity. But this is more going to be for the group dynamics. So, hello, welcome, Megan. If you can in the chat, let us know where you are calling in from. All right, so we're going to start off with an animal. So, the animal for our group today is it's the falcon. Really powerful, powerful being. So, here we go with the falcon. And whenever you are working with a bird, I want you to think of the element of air, and I want you to think about vision. So anytime you draw a bird, it's going to be that visionary, the big picture, right? So when you think of falcon, actually a huge bird. It has to do with these are the 4 words associated with it: focus, action, purpose, and aspiration. So the falcon represents focus, action, purpose, and aspiration. So as we go through this call today, we might circle back, as sometimes these animals will show up in interesting ways in these calls. And I'm going to see if there's anything else to share with you. Here's the poetic version of falcon. I move with the grace of wind and the power of light. I am clarity. I am focus. I am divine purpose in action. So I think that is a beautiful animal for us to work with today. And let's get centered, and then we will dive right in to the 4 R's and some human design charts. So let's just take a moment. I'm going to have you close your eyes, turning inward, taking some nice deep breath as you breathe in through the nose and out through the mouth. Allowing yourself to be here now in this portal of prosperity, as we've gathered to unlock your human design, your power, your presence, your purpose, and your next level of prosperity. So see if you can breathe all the way down to the tips of your toes, maybe even wiggling your toes, letting your shoulders drop down. I'm going to have you bring your hands to your heart, allowing the mind to slow down and feeling the rise and fall of your chest. As we call in our angels and our guides, we call in falcon, we call in the vision of eagle, the playfulness of dolphin, the wisdom of wolf, and any other angels that you work with or spirit guides of the light, calling them in now to help you in your transformation. And then I'm going to have you think about you wrapping up the call today at whatever time that is. And I want you to think about, how do you want to feel? Do you want to feel empowered, hopeful, peaceful, excited, courageous? Whatever your word is, breathe it into your heart now. And when you're ready, you can open your eyes, looking into the women on the call with that gentle nod. I see you, and I see your brilliance. So here we are. Okay, so we have Danville, California. We've got Centennial. We have Taos. We have Anchorage, Alaska. So from all around, welcome, welcome, welcome. Okay, so first off, from the human design side of things, I want to know how, actually, let's look at who's in the room. And what I mean by that, in the chat, tell me, are you a generator? Are you a manifesting generator? Are you a projector? Are you a manifester? What are you? So we know kind of who's in the room. The generators and manifestors are generally the most represented. They make up about 70% of the planet. And so whenever we have a call like this, I pretty much rarely will have a reflector, like rarely, right? Because they make up only 1%. The manifestors make up about 10%, and then we all kind of fall in the middle. So when I gather women, I often see these percentages show up. So we've got Kelly, a generator. We've got Angela, a projector with emotional authority. We've got Carrie, a projector. Judy, a generator. And Karen is a manifesting generator. I'm a manifesting generator. So this is who's in the room. Okay. Well, if you are new to human design, there's a lot to learn. And the type is really the first thing that you look at. So in the chat, let me know how long you've been around human design. And one would be a year or less, or you could say brand new. Tell me in years though. So I want to know what kind of, so Angela, about 5 years. Kelly, so 0, so she's just getting started. Okay. And Judy, less than a year. Karen, 5. So this body of work can go deep, and it's like peeling an onion, right? If you can walk away with one golden nugget today, that's what I want you to listen to. What is the one golden nugget? Because I believe that information's cool, but integration is everything. You all know a lot of things and you've studied a lot of things, right? I want you to leave this call not with like that place of, well, that was cool. Wow, that does sound like me, and maybe I could use that. So in the chat, say yes if you're willing to integrate one thing today, one simple thing that you'll bring into your life, because that's where transformation happens. As I say, transformation, some people will say, well, can I just sit on my cushion and meditate my life into 10x? Wouldn't that be nice, right? The reality is we need to integrate the principles so that we can have the impact in our lives. All right, so we got all the yeses. Angela, yes. Carrie, yes. Judy, Karen, yes. Kelly, yes. Megan. All right, so you're in the right place. So instead of jumping right into human design, I'm going to actually teach you the 4R framework first. Okay. This actually has nothing to do with human design and everything. I came up with this 4R framework, gosh, years ago. And I've been teaching it through the lens of prosperity. Now, when I say prosperity, first thing that comes to mind for most people is money. Yes, it has to do with money and a relationship with money, but it also has to do with our relationship with leadership, our relationship with our health. In fact, there are 5 pillars when I'm working with women around their worth that we want you to be firing in all 5 cylinders in all 5 areas of your life. Not perfectly, but it spells worth. W is for wealth. That's the money piece that you could have impact around. O is for oneness. Oneness is your connection to whatever you call it. I call it God. You might call it nature. You might call it your, I don't know, so many things to call it. It doesn't matter. It's your connection to something bigger than you. Okay, that's your O. Your R, your relationships. Ladies, you could have all the money in the world, and if you don't have solid relationships, you're broke. I say that because I don't want you to forget prosperity is all the areas. Okay, so we've got W, we've got O, we've got R, relationships. T, time management. I just got off a call today with a private client, and the whole session was around time management and her relationship to time, because she was living in scarcity. And you know what her mantra was? Like many of you, I don't have time. I don't have enough time. I don't have enough time. And then that becomes your reality. That's living a life of scarcity. Okay. And then the 5th one is H, your health. Okay. You could be having all of the other things, but if you're not putting attention to self-care and your health, it will catch up to you. It will catch up to you. So this framework applies to all 5 areas around your worth. So let's talk about the 4 R's. I'm going to share a screen so that you can see kind of how it's set up and what it looks like. And this is just a framework, and feel free to do a screenshot. Okay. Oops. Anyway, I lost you there for a second. You can follow along. Oh, there you go. There's 4 R's, and they are circular. They're not circular just in the 3D realm. I want you to think about this. If you were at the bottom of some stairs. Now, these are unique stairs. I was just in a church recently in Santa Fe. So Angela might know the church, and I can't think of the name of it. But it has this staircase. And the staircase is spiral and it goes up. Okay? And it's one of those like mysteries of the world. It's been on like shows because they couldn't figure out how they created the spiral staircase originally with no banisters. And Angela, do you know the name of the church that I'm talking about? I can't hear you. I don't know if you can unmute yourself.
Yeah, no, I don't recall it offhand, but I
Okay.
just saw it again on Facebook.
Yeah, it's so cool. It's
I
so
think
cool.
it's
So
the Loretto Chapel. You said it's in Santa Fe?
it's in Santa Fe.
Yeah, it's
It
the
might,
Loretto Chapel.
it's the Loretto Chap. Exactly. That I think that's right.
That's correct. Yeah.
That is correct. That sounds right. Okay. I'm going to stop the share so you can just, but anyway, so here you have this, it looks like a 3D thing, but I want you to think about it like the spiral staircase. Why? Is because as you rise in leadership, in these areas of worth, you don't rise, you don't just spin. You don't want to just spin, right? You want to rise. You want to rise up. Okay? So right now, before I take you through all 4 steps, I want you to choose which area you're going to focus on because it matters. You can't do all at once. Choose one. Is it wealth? Is it oneness? Is it your relationships? Is it time management? Or is it health? Choose one and then put it in the chat so I know what we're working on today. Which area of this? So Kelly's going to work with oneness. Okay, perfect. What else do we have? Health. Carrie's going to work with health. Beautiful. Judy's going to work around relationships. Fantastic. Megan's going to work with oneness and Angela's going to work with health. Okay, fantastic. All right. So the first R, fill in the blank, it's a verb and it's release it. The verb is release. Release it. And let me tell you why you need to release before you do anything else. Here's a metaphor for you. I want you to imagine in one of these areas, Karen's going to work on wealth. The thing that you want around one of these areas, wealth, health, oneness, I want you to imagine it's in front of you. That represents your future, right? So if it were wealth, like what would be kind of the next phase of being really excited, right? And maybe like a year out or a couple of years out, what would that wealth number be? Or your health a year out? What would be the embodiment of you being as healthy as ever? Is it, do you need to lose weight? Do you need to get stronger? Do you need to eat better? Like, what is it? So, Judy, the relationships. I want you to think about, what would that look like and that will feel like? But it's out in front of you because it's like a future version of you. Now, today we're going to start to bring that future into the present. But for right now, I want to do a little test with you, or at least an example. Right now, this pen represents me right here, right now, with my current thought patterns and beliefs and all of that. And I'm holding on to that pen. Okay. And in front of me, let's say that I'm working with health. Okay. I actually am working on health right now because I'm getting ready to climb Mount Kilimanjaro. I'm doing a lot of training right now. Okay. So in front of me, that future version is me at the top of Kilimanjaro with my team. Okay. But what do I need to do if I'm going to reach for it? What do I need to do with my hand?
Let go.
You've got to let go. Okay? Said differently, release it. And so for us to move in the direction of our dreams, we will need to release thoughts, patterns, beliefs, and behaviors that got you where you are today. You can't stay the same. It will require you to release something. Often it's a belief. Maybe it's a thought, which is a belief. Thoughts, patterns. Let's say it's around health and you're eating at McDonald's all the time. Well, that's behavior that's not serving you. Okay. So in this moment, for the first R, R stands for release it. We're going to identify, first of all, do you all know, if we're going to go through this process, we need to get pretty clear on what's the thing you want. Okay. So if it's around health, is it losing weight? Is it around, if it's on wealth, is it around a debt reduction? Is it around home ownership? Is it around more cash flow? And is there, so do you know, tell me in the chat, do you know what, are you clear with what you want? Or do you need a little support around that? Do you all have an idea of what you want? And you could even do 90 days.
Mhm.
Angela's clear. Fantastic. Sometimes we need help with this. Judy's clear. Kelly's clear. Fantastic. So you know the thing you're reaching for. And what? Unmute yourself, everyone. Tell me, what do you need to do first? I release it. So I say, I release it.
I release
I
it.
Release it.
I release it. Okay.
release it.
So now I want, and this is going to be pretty bold, and you don't know these women in the group. So I get it. We're getting to know one another. So be as vulnerable as you can. But I will tell you, when you share something, as you are growing and going up that spiral, it's true that the actual more vulnerable you are, it's like speaking it to the universe can be incredibly powerful when it comes to manifestation. So my question for you, you're clear with what you want.
Mhm.
Are you clear with what you need to let go of? So this is where I'm not going to like unmute people, but we can just kind of go, with whoever wants to share. Does anyone know what they need to release?
I can go.
Sure.
So, as a result of a surgery I had last year, a year ago, I have started having hot flashes again.
Okay.
I had been done with them for 6 years, and it's like bothersome to have them back. So my goal would be to balance my hormones even without that fallopian tube and ovary, and then reach a state of stasis so that I don't have those hot flashes.
Yeah. Yeah. Beautiful. That's a great example. So the doctor and me is popping in, and again, it's like, um, these will be educational recommendations. I always have to like clear that, but some things that come to mind, not directly related to release, but I also want to kind of pour into you, Angela. You're here. Some things to consider would be boron. A lot of women don't even know that, but for all of us who are listening, I tend to work with women in their, in that age group where things are shifting. So boron can be really supportive, and then obviously like hormone replacement therapy and things like that. But in terms of releasing, what do you think you might need to release? Is there any release around like I can do this, or my body knows how to heal? Like, is there any from the release standpoint?
Yeah, from release, it would be the idea that this is a problem.
Ah, okay.
So lack of resistance
Yeah,
would be my goal in that area. Yeah.
beautiful. So is it that is it that I release resistance? Could that actually even be a good statement for you? I
Sure.
resent. Yeah, like
Yeah, I release
I
resistance.
release resistance to optimal health.
I release resistance to optimal health. That's beautiful. Thank you.
You like that?
I
Okay, good.
do.
So we're actually going to tap it in. We're going to kind of layer this for you.
Okay.
Tap it on your chest and say it again.
I release this resistance to optimal health.
Yeah. And you know what? For everyone's listening, when I'm hot coaching somebody, we can all do this, right? Because don't we all want optimal health? So let's all say it. I release resistance to
to
optimal health.
optimal health.
And the only thing I did differently with you, Angela, I took the my resistance. I don't want you to own it. So
Okay.
whenever we say something that's like a negative, like resistance, you wouldn't want to say I release my resistance because there's part of you like, oh, it's mine. I don't give it up. So that's how I just clarified a little bit. So we all
Thank
just
you.
cleared some resistance to optimal health. So that's the release statement. Okay. But it is this idea of I release it. So let's say that you're not really sure. Some tools that you could journal about this. What do I need to release? Because sometimes it's not really apparent,
Mhm.
right? And sometimes it's a matter of working with a friend and asking a friend, hey, here's the problem I'm having. What you know about me, what do you think I might need to release? So you don't have to do this all alone. Okay. Does anyone else want to share or get support around the release part? And you can just unmute yourself.
Hi.
Karen.
Yeah, I chose wealth, and you've known me. We've known each other for a long time, and so where I'm at right now is cash flows.
Okay.
We have all of our money is tied up in retirement.
Okay.
And right now we're looking at cash flows with the goals of ultimately um, reestablishing a safety emergency fund and,
Okay.
and reducing debt. So they're kind of tied together. But
Okay.
and that's where I'm at is we've done a lot of work. I've had improvements within my marriage and in our communication around money. So we've made some tremendous strides, but just wanted to tap in and maybe get some support around. I'm not quite sure what it is I need to release at this point. Maybe it's, and I'm thinking maybe it is the resistance again. Maybe it's there's some. I like to just spend money on what I want to just spend money on. So maybe there's some things around. You know what? It's okay to create a budget and have a more.
Ah, yeah. Okay. So intuitively, I'm kind of tuning in here with you. And my first hit is when you scan your body, just as you're talking about this, did you notice any change in your body? Was there any stress as you, like, I know it can be hard to speak up in a group that you don't know. So that's element. But outside of that, do you notice anything in your body when you talk about it?
My stomach clenched up.
Okay, great awareness. Okay. So this is for everyone. As you're discovering what you need to release, you might notice there's kind of like, "Ugh," all right. And Karen's able to identify it in your tummy. So it could be that it could be that you get to, you don't have to listen to the language I'm using, that
Uh-huh.
you get to release the stress and there's probably fear in there.
Yes. Yeah.
The stress and fear that I have about creating a life of abundance or about doing the things I need to do or get to do. So I'm always listening vibrationally what else could be going on because energy can get stuck in the body. Okay. So this can be from trauma. This can be from micro traumas. And this can be just living life, right? We hold these things in our body. So we're just going to do a little somatic work with you if you're okay with that.
Yep.
So hands on the belly. Now, for all of you, so it applies to everyone. I want you to think about the thing that you want and then think about the resistance. And as you think about the resistance or think about these thoughts, if there's someone in your body that tightens or like does something weird, or you notice it can show up as sensations in the body, tightness, buzzing, burning, pain, those kinds of things. We're going to do a little practice here and help her to heal and clear. All right, so hands on the belly. And for everyone, if you have a place that kind of gets tight or does something funky when you think the thought, you can close your eyes and follow along or not, right? But it's really powerful. It's like as I'm talking to you, I'm feeling like my heart. So there's something here in resonance of your stuff that I'm picking up on. Okay, so we're going to do it together. And anyone can follow along with whatever place in your body that doesn't feel at total peace. So I want you to breathe into your heart, not your heart, it's your tummy. Breathe into your tummy and see if you can isolate that area, not trying to change it. And just bring your breath and awareness there. And I want you to zoom in on the sensation. So if the sensation is tightness, zoom into the most intense area of tightness. So it might be a little bit to the left or to the right or to the center. Zoom in with your focus. And this is for everyone following along. Zoom in to the most intense area of the discomfort and just bring your breath there. That's it. This is a process that I teach called the Queen's Peace process. Great, Karen. And as you're going through this, what are you noticing?
Yeah, it seems to be relaxing. It
Okay.
just quieting down.
Just quieting down. Yeah. And that's what I feel like for you. It is about kind of that nervous system regulation. So, hand on the belly, and I want you to repeat after me. I'm safe in my body.
I'm safe in my body.
I can make healthy choices with my money,
I can make healthy choices with my money,
and my body knows what to do.
and my body knows what to do.
Beautiful. And then just release. How do you feel?
I feel better.
Yeah, yeah. So if the area that you need to release, kind of old stuff, and it's related to like triggers, like money is a trigger for a lot of people. I want you to get centered first with your body and your breath. It's why I always call in that presence and get you guys present before we start to begin. Because no strategy will work if your nervous system isn't on board. Okay? There are tons of strategies of budgeting, I mean, all kinds of strategies out there. But none of them will work unless your body feels safe for you to then to start to make more conscious choices. They're going to help you to bring in your dreams. Make sense?
Hmm.
The body needs to feel safe. And from that safety, we can make changes. Okay. We are going to move on to any questions about the first step. We have 4 steps. Any questions about the release it? Do you all feel like you can begin using that tool? I release it and knowing what we're releasing. Okay. Okay. Again, we're going to start to ascend, spiral. So it always starts with a release statement. So even though it's circular, it starts with foundation. And if you want to think about it as chakra and energy centers, the release often is kind of like that foundation that we build upon. So you can think of kind of first chakra, foundation, right? Doesn't have to be though, but it can be. And I think especially as it relates to money and relationship, those lower chakras get compromised, where you're not fully in touch. In fact, the first couple ones that you're fully not in touch with being supported. Okay. So you can't release unless you feel supported. All right. Second step. The second R is reclaim it. So reclaim it is if you think about moving up the chakras, the reclaim it is like second and third chakra. Okay. If chakra is a word you're not familiar with, it's just an energy center. Okay. Specifically, reclaim it really dives into that third, your power source, your power. And neurologically, there's a bunch of ganglion and a bunch of nerves that actually you've got your solar plexus there. It's a highly attuned, sensitive area. You know how people say your gut is your second brain? Yeah, because there's a lot of neurology in this section of the body. So with your hands on your belly, here's what you're going to do, and you're going to love this section. It's about reclaiming your power. See, because what I know as it relates to your power is each and every one of you is a powerhouse. But you know what happens when we're ready or wanting to create, especially quantum leaps, 10xing results? You think, oh, I can't do that. There's no way I could do that. And so what we want to do is we want to build upon the successes you have already had, that you've already had. So I reclaim it is about reclaiming your power. So I want you to think in terms of what have you already done in your life that it took a really powerful woman to do it. So you took like a leadership position, or you birthed a baby, or you got a master's, or you built a home, or you overcame a health diagnosis. So I want you to take a moment right here, right now, and then we're going to go through the I reclaim it. We're going to do a quick share, but write down at least 3 amazing things you've done in your life that only powerful women can do. What have you done up to this point that you're really proud of? 3 things. You can always do more. If you're challenged by this step, you're going to want to do more of this reclaiming. But for today's purposes, 3 things. 3 things. Okay. Who would like to share one thing that you've done that if you think about it, like you're like, wow, I did that? Anyone want to share?
I'll share.
Okay, cool.
I was a presidential appointee
Wow.
twice,
Twice. Oh my gosh. Judy, you can do anything.
which is why I'm so screwed up now. No.
Wow, that's amazing. Yes. So that is something to be incredibly proud of. And whenever you're second guessing yourself as far as your ability to do something, remember that. Remember that. Yeah, beautiful. Who else would like to share one powerful thing from your past?
So I picked up and moved to England without knowing anyone there. I just picked a town on a map and moved to it.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
When did you do that?
2019.
That's amazing. Okay. Right? So a woman that can just pick up and move to another country where she doesn't know anyone, only a powerful woman can do that. All right? So you all have these power memories, but most of you have what I call hashtag power amnesia. Hashtag power amnesia. What's power amnesia? You forget how powerful you are. And that's why some of the reason you're not getting the results in your life, because you've either given your power away, that's another thing, right? That's more of like power leaking. But many of you forget how powerful you are. And you wouldn't be in my orb if you weren't powerful. Okay. So this has to do with I reclaim it. So this is hands on the belly. Okay. And this is more of a memory. And if you want to even just close your eyes and remember a moment of victory, like the moment you decided to go to England, you know, or the moment you heard that you had been elected, Judy. But take a moment down memory lane. I like to do it with my eyes closed on my belly and say, I reclaim it. So everyone repeat after me, I reclaim it. Yeah. Beautiful. Okay. Now, neurologically, I'm going to tell you why you do that. And sometimes I don't want you to forget too, with I reclaim it, some of you have been giving your power away. And this could be giving your power away to other leaders, to spouses, to friends, even to children, like grown children. Okay? Doesn't really happen with young children, but grown children, right? Like, so some of you also might be leaking your power. Now, I'm going to give you a quick technique is if you've been leaking your power, then you can imagine it's kind of like throwing coins all over where you've been, leaving your money behind. But the money is a representation, a coin is a representation of an energy. Okay? And so it's like you're leaving money all around town and just taking a moment, it's like calling that back, calling your power back. As if you have a magnet in your belly and you're calling all of that back. Because no one else can really use that power. You've just kind of leaked it. So call it back to you. It has your signature on it. Okay? So when we do the I reclaim it, it really is about also recalling how powerful you are. And when we do that, what ends up happening is it gets us juiced for that thing, that goal that we say that we want. So it does something called, it like positively stacks. It's called stacking. And in life, we either stack in the positive or we stack in the negative. Most people are stacking in the positive. I can't do this because that didn't work and it never works and I fell on my face and what a fool I made. Like it's all the negative. And so that amplifies negative energy or disempowering energy. But what I'm inviting you to do neurologically is stack in the positive, which is I did this and I did this and I did this. So we're starting to raise your vibration and raise your energy. High vibe. Okay. So first step is I release it. So say after me, and you can even bring your hands out and just say, I release it. Like imagine you're holding something and let it go. So I release it. Okay. So that's the first thing. We've got Jadine coming in. And then hands on the belly, and you're going to say, I reclaim it. So I reclaim it. Now we're on to number 3, the third step. This takes some more time. So I'm just prefacing this. But the third step, the third R is I rewrite it. And I bring women through a whole process called Autobiography of a Queen. Actually, in this room, Karen has been through that. And actually, Angela, you've been through that too, where you actually write a new narrative to your life. So it can model, what can be really fun is it can model the hero's journey. And the hero's journey is like, there was this character and they wanted something and they had a challenge and they went on a great adventure and they had another challenge, but they overcome their challenges and then they are the victory of their own story and they come back and they tell everybody the journey they've been on. That's the hero's journey, or I call the shero's journey. But to keep it for simple practices today, I just want you to think about the story you've been telling yourself, whether it's around your relationship or oneness or wealth. What's a new narrative? For today, just short and sweet. You can spend some time journaling at another time to really rewrite it, to rewrite a story. Okay? But the new narrative. So, like, the new narrative for you, Angela, is like, oh my gosh, I had this thing and I had this surgery and life was really tough and I was having hot flashes and I felt like I lost my health. And then all of a sudden, I took this class. It was around the 4 R's and I started practicing it and integrating it. And within a short amount of time, within a couple months, oh my gosh, things balanced out. And I now am experiencing life and health like never before. So can you see that's the narrative? And so even like, or I am experiencing the most optimal health than I've ever. You speak it in the present tense, as if it already happened. Okay, so that one's can be a little bit more complicated, but today you can just short and sweet. You know, the before, the now, and the future. So that can be the framework for this of the rewrite it, the before, which is your past, the now, which is current reality. So for like Karen, it might be current reality. I have 50 grand in the bank for emergency. And the future is, and I want that to be 200 grand, right? Like, so we've got the past, we've got the present, current reality, and then we've got this future that we're designing and embodying. Past, present, future. That's the Cliff Notes of like, you know, how can you explain this, Dr. Kelly, in like 5 minutes so that people can actually go home and begin to integrate? Because remember, I told you, the information without integration, it's useless. Okay? All right. So tell a different story. All right. So we've got I release it, which is the hands. Everybody, let's go ahead and do it. I release it. I want you to remember this. I release it. Hands on the belly. I reclaim it. Hands on the heart. Now we're in 4th chakra. It's a new storyline. And say, I rewrite it. It's a new story. Very heart-based center story. And then you want to know the 4th R, it's my favorite. And it's the one that's actually the hardest for women. Let me just be real. Especially high-powered achieving women that I work with. This one's the hardest because we live in a society that we think to get what we want, what do we need to do? Hustle. Hustle. Make it happen. Right? That's not to say that we don't show up in our 3D world and there can be work to do. This 4th step is the gem. It's the gem. And the 4th R is receive. I receive it. Okay? So if you go through the spiral, all 4 steps, the receiving actually is a surrender piece. And the way I like to language this piece is this or something better. Like I receive it. And so there's hands gestures to this one too. And their hands up in the air. And you look up into the sky, like the thing you want coming down into your life and say, I receive it. Right? No effort needed in the 4th step. It's pure surrender. And again, holding that space of this or something better. Okay? So we've got the 4 steps. We're going to do them together and everyone's going to unmute. And I'll be the leader and you're going to do the hand gestures to help you to embody it. Then we're going to jump into a little human design. All right. So first one, the 1st R. So I'll say it and then you say it. I release it.
I release it.
Release it.
Okay. I reclaim it.
I reclaim it.
Reclaim it.
Your hands on the belly, hands on the heart. I rewrite it.
I rewrite
I
it.
rewrite it.
Last one, look up. I receive it.
receive
I received it.
All right. Like you're in church. I receive it. All right. So those are the 4 steps. I release it, I reclaim it, I rewrite it, receive it. Works in every area of your life. It's a conscious choice. I've even had women use it as a daily practice, just short note. They put their 4 R's as the framework and say, oh, what do I release today? What do I reclaim today? Just as a memory jog. Okay. And the way I find that it works best is to choose one category at a time. Don't try to do wealth, oneness, relationships, time management, and health all at the same time. Too much. Keep it simple. That's why I had you choose one for today. All right, let's move into some human design charts. I don't know if I have I might have Judy's in my box. Let's just start with just overall questions that you might have as it relates to, I know we've got some beginners and we have some people who've been doing it for 5 years. I'm going to just open starting with any questions about your chart.
Mhm.
Or should we start with just some general guidance?
I can ask a question that
Sure.
used to plague me, but doesn't
Yeah.
much more.
Yeah, absolutely.
As a human design projector, if I'm
Mhm.
supposed to wait for invitation,
Yep.
then how do I even like post social media? How do I,
Yeah.
because
I totally hear what you're saying there. So there's certain things, let's not overthink it, right? Like social media, just because you're a projector doesn't mean that you can't use social media. But here's a way to really respond to it in a way that's going to amplify your message. Is, let's say, so Angela has a podcast and she works with she's an advocate for children,
Mhm.
right?
And I have a
And
television show,
and she has a
actually.
I'm sorry, television show. She's got a television show. I messed that up. And she's written several children's books.
Mhm.
And so she's asking, kind of like, as a projector, like how would I use social? So what I would say is the invitation is, you can think of it as, what has there been like a theme around what people are needing from you, and shape your social media posts around things that you're already guiding others around.
Okay.
So in
That's
that
good
leadership position, you're
advice.
already guiding and people are following you. So you're just making that visible to the public.
Mm-hmm.
Is that a reframe that's healthy that might help?
Yeah. So for instance, with my television show,
Mhm.
I've guided a number of people around body image,
Okay.
and I can post about that particular episode of the television show, which
Perfect.
contains a lot of the same guidance.
Yes.
Yeah.
So all you're doing, think of it as a reposition of what you're already doing. You're not having to come up with anything new. You're just making your guidance as a guide visible to the public. So then
Mhm.
they see it and they're like, "Oh, I need to get in touch with Angela." And then another invitation appears.
Thank you.
Yeah, that was a great question. Fantastic. Any other kind of general questions?
I have a question about the incarnation cross. So mine
Okay.
is the right angle cross of laws, but I
Okay.
forget what that means.
Okay, let me see, because let me see if I have your chart, Judy. Let me see if I can
I
bring it.
have it if you want me to pull it up.
Okay, I might have you do that for me. I'm also going to look up under a folder to see if you are in there. I'm going to look one more place, and if not, we'll bring you together here. Type. Let's see, Judy, because I know I have had it in the past. Let's see, is it under unassigned? Okay. All right. Why don't we go ahead and pull
I
that
found
up?
it if you want me to pull it up.
Yeah, go ahead and pull it up. And probably what I might need to do. So let me just tell you, there are a ton of incarnation crosses. So the way that I'm going to guide you is I'm going to guide you through, and this will apply to everyone, how this was figured out. So you can see the incarnation cross where she has right angle cross of laws.
Mhm.
So your incarnation cross is your purpose on the planet. It's kind of important. And so whatever your incarnation cross is, let me tell you where it comes from. So can you all see my my cursor as I move it?
Mhm.
Okay, cool. So you're going to see here it says 3 and then 50. So on Judy's chart, there's her 3, so it's in your sun position. This is your personality side. So that's where the first number comes from. And the second number comes from here, the earth. So those are always your first 2 numbers in the incarnation cross. And then your second numbers, 60 and 56, are going to be found from the sun position and the earth position on the design side. So for Judy, the 60 comes from here, sun sign in the design, and then the 56 is here, the earth. Now, let me tell you what the difference is I want you to think about the personality side of your chart. First of all, this position, the 3, Your sun gate is that number makes up about 70% of your chart. So if anyone is looking at a human design chart, this number right in this position, the sun, makes up such a big component of your chart. If I were to have you study one gate, it would be this one right here. So even for you, Judy, instead of like necessarily getting, too caught up in all four of these, I would want you to have a really good understanding of the three. The earth sign is I want you to think about what grounds you. So this particularly on the design side, the 56 here for her, is what physically, so the design side on the earth for anyone, the gate here, the 56, answers the question, what actually really grounds me actually in my physical body. So it's related to health. So Angela, weaving you back in here, as you're wanting a quantum shift in your health, Angela, I would look at this position to answer the question, what grounds your physical body? Because that's going to be important in your healing.
So, I also study gene keys. So would
Yes.
I read the gene key
Yep.
for 9 and 16, which are the two
Yes.
on that side for me? Okay.
Yep. So, and the body awareness is really right there. And just for those of you who don't know, gene keys and gates, they're the same number. They're just described differently. So yeah, so Judy, so that's where I would start. And then what I will do is, because again, there's tons of these and I don't have them all memorized, but I'm going to pull up, let's see, we'll go ahead and we'll stop the share for now. Let's see. Allow multiple presenters. Okay, not a problem. So the two for resources, I've got probably like a lot of the books, but if you're just getting started off with this is the Human Design Bible. Okay. And it's called The Definitive Book of Human Design. What I will tell you is it can be really heady. Sometimes it can be hard to understand. I find the language can be really hard to understand. Okay. But this is the one. There's one by Parker that I think is more digestible, but that one does not go into the incarnation crosses. Okay, by Parker, Cheaton Parker. If you're a gene keys person, it's just a different, I look at the gene keys more as like a spiritual journey and human design as a little bit more architecture. This is the Bible of the gene keys, which is what Angela was asking. Okay. So if you put these together, going back to Judy, your question, which is around the incarnation cross, this is the book that I go to, in addition to going online. So right angle, let's see. Oh, wait a second. Okay, you have the right angle cross. That's Angela. You have the right angle cross. And you had the right angle cross of law, Judy. That's what we were looking at?
That's what she has. Yeah.
Yep. So they don't make it really easy to navigate. Let me just see if there's a way. Let's see. In the actual book and see if we can bring wisdom to that. I think, yeah, there's no great glossary, unfortunately, in the right angle cross from law. So what I would do, as I said, would be individually looking up those three numbers. And that's something I can do really, really fast for you. So Judy, your numbers were, we've got the number 3. So I can just look up here. Gate 3 and the essence. Think about the essence. It says it's considered difficulty at the beginning. Okay. Ordering. So it says the fundamental challenge of initiation is to transcend confusion and establish order. Said differently, my understanding of the 3 is like give yourself permission to kind of wade in the confusion that clarity is coming. Because you're kind of taking all of this, what can be very confusing and chaotic, and creating structure from that. But it can feel like, I'm not getting it, I'm not getting it, I'm not getting it, right? Do you relate to that, Judy, around that 3 energy at all? Yeah. And
Yeah.
can you remind me?
When
do you
I
have
did
that-
my core values and the other thing that we're doing.
Yeah,
Totally.
there you go. And that's your gift. And were you 3.3? Is that what it says for you?
I'm 3/6.
3.6. So this is the book. This is the only book that'll break down the different lines of the different numbers for you. So 6 is about surrender. So it says this. So the first number is like the main enchilada. And the second number is like the fine tuning of a radio, the fine adjuster versus the coarse adjuster. So the fine adjuster for you, that line 6 is about surrender, the ultimate maturity to recognize when struggle is futile. Okay, so that's the incarnation cross. Kind of big. It's your purpose on the planet. And so the way I really like the way I like to really study is I'll take one gene key or one gate, and I'll spend time with it. I might spend a couple weeks, maybe even a month, really contemplating one number. And what I love about the gene keys is it brings it into 3 different, think of it in vibrations. So let's look at the 3. I'll use the 3 as an example. So the 3 in gene keys, it's going to use a little bit of different language, but it's going to use what they would consider the shadow. Think of that as the low frequency, and that would be kind of like you when you're not at your best. And the shadow of the 3rd gene key is chaos. Then you kind of move in vibration. Next one up is the gift is innovation. So Judy, you have this amazing gift of being innovative, creating new ways of thinking about things from the chaos. So that's kind of that's a huge superpower of yours. And then there's a highest vibration of all these. They call it the city state. And the city state for this is innocence. And so they say the city state is great to contemplate. And it's like the highest vibration that most mortal people, everyday people will never reach that highest level of vibration. But it's cool to ponder. Okay. So that's kind of the 3-tiered process. All right. So quick review. We've done the 4 R's. And you can use this again, if you just want to implement it in a simple way. Let's say you have a daily practice, do your 4 R's and be like, I'll release this today. I'll reclaim this, rewrite, receive, right? So that's a way to implement, in a very, very easy way. And then as far as human design, it really is, people are like, well, what's the point of human design? Here's what I believe the point of human design is to be more of who I am naturally. And it takes some time because of things that we grow up with and the conditioning and the limiting beliefs. And so as my journey continues, I get to be more and more and more and more of who I am. And it's a discovery process. So that's kind of the why behind human design. And it's been a joy. It's been a joy for me to really learn those pieces about myself that I go, oh, that makes total sense. And I've been judging myself. About things that are natural for me. And yet I might see the world or other people do it differently or think differently and think there's something wrong with me. Great example. I was just coaching someone earlier today, as I told you, on time management. And her relationship with time management is, I don't have enough time. And so that was being created in her field. And so I looked at her chart. She had gate 15 in a prominent position. Gate 15 is all about flexibility and being in that flow state. Like it's one of her gifts. But she was judging herself that she didn't have a ton of structure. I said, you're not meant to have a ton of structure in your life. Structure is good. So it's not the absence of structure. But could you see how somebody like that, if they're judging themselves, and especially if they grew up with family and parents, they're all about, you have to have structure, like a militant structure, that would not serve somebody like that. And then they think there's something wrong with them. So it's just a great example. Okay. All right. As far as what I have going on, some exciting things in my world. One thing is as I said, I'm climbing Mount Kilimanjaro, and we are climbing. I'm bringing a group of female entrepreneurs and thought leaders to climb a big mountain. And in doing so, we're raising money for a school in Tanzania. And so we have a $111,000 goal, and any bit counts. So I will put the link in the chat. Even $10, buy a brick, build a school, leave a legacy. It makes a difference. So if you can support us, and as far as girls' empowerment and women's empowerment in their country, a lot of girls never get to go to school. right? And the boys are maybe encouraged, but the girls aren't. I mean, from anything from like, because they have a menses and they have to help watch the kids. The school that's being built, they are encouraging. It's right in the country of Tanzania near the Maasai land. And what that means is, what's really cool is they already have girls starting to come to school. So we're at the very beginning stages. And like, they always say, like, what hurts your heart? And we all have something that hurts our heart. And it could be many different things, but there's often, it's called the hunger. Like, what's your hunger? And for me, the hunger is women and children are like my weak spot of like wanting women and children to be empowered. So that's what pulls at my heartstrings and why this particular project means a lot to me. And it's my best friend's father's dying wish. He built a nonprofit, and that nonprofit has been in the community for 24 years. And the community wanted this school built. And so she picked up the torch, and now I'm part of it. So that's my passion project right now. And then in terms of like business and leadership, I am offering a wealth reset for those of you that want a wealth reset. So this is for powerful leaders and business women who know they need a wealth reset. We will pull up your human design. We are going to help you reset your relationship with money. If you are a person that puts together packages, like a package like a course or packaging of how you work with people, we can help you with pricing of the packaging, make sure that you're valuing it correctly, how to put it together. And then really important for all leaders, are you aligned with your messaging? Are you positioning yourself as an expert in the marketplace? So it's the 3 Ps: pricing, positioning, and packaging for those who have packages. And if you don't have a package that you're packaging your gifts, right? So how can we better packages, you as a speaker or as a representative? So I am offering that 3 Ps. And I'm going to go ahead. I'm just going to make it really easy. I'm just going to put my cell phone number in here. It's a half-day VIP intensive. Let's see, it's 9093961. And I have some space before I go to Africa. We end up spending about 4.5 hours together on really lining up all 3 things. If you are not local, we do it via Zoom. And it really is about that reset, right? To take you, what does a 10X look like for you, feel like, getting everything aligned. It's all about alignment, even emotional alignment. So if we need to do some healing, we will do some healing. So we do the 3.5 hours on in one time slot. And then we do an hour of integration. So that generally is about a week after, or sometimes 2 weeks, to see how you're integrating, see what's coming up, right? But I've done that. I've done it many times for women. I've had women where we've put things together and they offer it the very next day. And, they'll sell like a high ticket $10,000 offer the very next day. It's because it's vibration and clarity that makes all the difference. So normally that is $4,500. And I'm doing it now for $3,500. So it's all of the alignment stuff that makes all the difference. Angela says Kelly's offerings are wonderful. She's the real deal. Thank you so much. And again, it's about aligning you with your most prosperous design. So it's all in your blueprint. And so I'm really just looking at the tea leaves and then using my somatic gifts and intuition and setting you up for next level. So you can just text me. All right, we're going to do a round robin golden nugget time. What's your golden nugget, and what's one thing you're going to implement? One thing. Because I told you information is useless without integration. So whoever wants to start us off. Golden nugget time. Don't be shy.
For me, the golden nugget is really about being clear, not necessarily on what you want, because that's the easy part, but being clear on what to release.
Being clear on what to release. I love it. Fantastic. Who else? Golden nugget and what you're going to implement.
I'm gonna take like you suggested, I have a morning meditation practice, and I'm gonna do the release, reclaim, rewrite, and receive it.
I love it, Megan.
Meditation.
But it may, yes. Have you and I met before? I don't think we have.
Nope.
Oh my gosh. How did you find out about this workshop today?
Someone recommended it.
Wonderful. Wonderful. So happy to have you.
Thank you.
Yes. All right. Who else would like to share golden nugget and implementation?
So many golden nuggets here, but I'll pick one, and that's the reclaiming of power.
Yes.
And I also like the idea of just like going through the 4 R's in my decision-making process. Like, is there anything that's stuck? And if so, let's spend some time with it.
Beautiful. All right. So using the framework as a daily practice. All right. Who else would like to share?
So I'm inspired by the 4 R's.
Okay.
It will help me better with limiting beliefs and help me to tune in better. And I've already got a list of people that I'm going to renew relationships with who I know have my best interest in mind, and I'm going to go from there.
Oh, I love that.
Cool.
I can't wait to hear. So Judy, you'll need to let me know. That's like so heart space for me that it warms my heart. So yeah, thank you. All right. And then Karen, you gonna bring us home?
Sure thing. So, yeah, I think the golden nugget was just the reminder of the 4 R's, and I do plan on doing them, integrating them into my morning routine, and then just the reminder too of focusing on one thing at a time.
Yeah.
That whole phrase, what am I going to release today? And I think that's brilliant, because I do tend to try to do everything all at once.
Yeah. Keep it super simple.
Yep.
I love that. All right, ladies. Well, thank you so much. We've got the next My Prosperous Design already on the books. So if you want to mark your calendars, you will need to register again. But the next one is July the 2nd. July the 2nd at 3 p.m. Mountain Time, same Batman channel. So, but you do need to register. All right, ladies, have a fantastic day, and I'll be seeing some of you soon. So, have a great day. All right.
Yeah.
Thank
All right,
you.
we'll see you. You're welcome.